Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Mr. Zombie here, and welcome to part 2 of What If Izuku Midoriya Was a Girl. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So, we begin. Izuku! Inko was scrambling across the floor with an envelope in her hand. Your letter! It arrived! Izuku sprung from the couch and helped her mother to her feet. The older woman handed the envelope to her daughter. The UA emblem clear as day. Izuku's hands were shaking as she held the letter and helped Inko to the couch. The young woman wanted her mother to see the results too, whether or not she passed. Inko was beside herself with nerves as Izuku opened the letter. A metal disc fell from the envelope. The Midoriyas weren't sure what to do with the small device before it sprung to life. Midoriya! Midoriya's mother! I am here as a protection in your bedroom! The two women let out startled shouts before calming down.
Well, All Might? What are you doing here? This is from UA, right?
Yes, it is from UA. As you can see, young Midoriya, I am the newest teacher of UA High. And as such, I've been given the pleasure of telling you about your exam results. Surprise!
How did she do, All Might? Please tell me my baby girl was able to pass.
All Might and Izuku didn't know how to react to the sudden and overwhelming outburst. Please calm down, Miss Midoriya. I was just about to get to that. A soft blush came across Inko's face.
Right, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on, can All Might actually see us through this thing? Like a webcam?
Yes, I can. Don't ask why. Anyway, as I was saying, young Midoriya, your score on the written portion was about average. Izuku's expression turned sorrowful. Her head fell into her hands as Inko rubbed her child's back.
And I didn't get any point during the practical. Mom, All Might, I'm so sorry. I let you down.
Hold it. I wasn't finished. There was a secret factor in the practical exam that affected the scores. Remember that student you saved? Well, take a look at this! Using a remote, All Might changed the feed of the screen behind him. On it displayed Uraraka talking to President Mike. She was asking if Izuku Midoriya could have some of her points. Uraraka overheard the green-haired girl say that she didn't have a single point during the exam.
It's just not fair! I know that giant robot wasn't worth anything, but she saved my life from being crushed by that thing. That's gotta be worth something, right?
Izuku was in shock by Uraraka's words. She didn't think what she did would have that kind of a ripple effect. That was when All Might paused the recording before turning back to the Midoriyas. To meddle in affairs that aren't yours is what defines a true hero. Because of your selflessness and willingness to rescue her, you were awarded 60 rescue points! The monitor changed into a scoreboard, showing the top 10 students of the exam. Bakugo was in first place, not surprising Izuku in the slightest, but she was stunned to see that she had gotten 7th place. An expression of disbelief came across the young woman's face as tears were welling up and running down her face. Her mother had a similar expression, her hands clasped over her mouth. Congratulations, young Midoriya! Welcome to the Hero Academia! Mother and daughter sobbed loudly in each other's embrace. Pure joy and relief and pride were enveloped in between them as Izuku Midoriya was one step closer to achieving her dream of becoming a pro hero. The first day of school came around and Midoriya was excited, dressed in her brand new UA uniform. Inko stopped her just as Midoriya was about to head out.
Izuku? Yeah, Mom?
Her mother looked hesitant. There was something in her mother's eyes, but Izuku wasn't sure how to define it, but they almost looked starry.
I feel like I should apologize. Of all the people that should have encouraged you to follow your dreams, no matter how dangerous they seem to be, I should have been cheering you on from the beginning. I feel like I've been lacking in terms of encouraging you. I felt like I let you down because you were seemingly quirkless. And now here you are attending the best hero school in Japan. I'm just so proud of you. You've come so far and...
The older woman tried to control the tears that were spilling from her eyes but couldn't keep the waterworks from falling. Her daughter embraced her, holding her tightly. Inko recuperated the hug, clinging to her baby girl as any protective and worrying mother would. Inko eventually let go of Midoriya, and the young hero-to-be headed for the door.
I'll see you later. Love you. I love you too, baby.
Izuku left the house while their mother stood in the doorway, smiling.
Huh, I wonder how big that door is. It's so weird.
Midoriya had finally found her homeroom class 1A. She was a little thrown off by the 18-foot-tall door after stealing her nerves and adjusting her jacket. Midoriya stepped into the room with confidence before hearing Ka-chan's voice arguing with someone. Get your feet off that desk this instant! Do you have no respect for the heroes that sat here before us? And what are you gonna do if I don't, Four Eyes? Just try me and I'll blow your ass to smithereens. How vulgar! How could you say that to one of your own classmates? Pretty easy, actually. Midoriya had seen enough. Despite all the horrible things Ka-chan had said and done to her, namely telling her to take a swan dive from the roof, she was going to try to not be so scared of him anymore.
Hey, Ka-chan?
The arguing boys turned to the green-haired girl as she approached. Bakugo tried to suppress his blush and embarrassment at the sound of his childhood nickname.
Looks like you made it in, just like I did.
Oh, I remember you. You're the one who took down that giant 0-point robot in a single blow.
Yep, that was me.
Bakugo scowled at Midoriya coldly. He couldn't believe that the quirkless Deku had taken out a building-sized robot. He started thinking that they were talking about a different robot. Might I ask, how is it that you know this ruffian? The blue-haired student was referring to Bakugo, and the blonde didn't appreciate being called a ruffian.
Well, Ka-chan and I have been friends since we were kids. I'm Izuku Midoriya, by the way.
I'm Tenya Ida from the Somei Junior High School. Midoriya thought for a moment. She might have been imagining it, but the family name Ida sounded familiar. She was about to say something before the classroom door slid open, and then heard a familiar voice.
Hey, is that you, Midoriya? Oh, Uraraka, hey!
The two began to casually chat, talking about their excitement for getting into UA and wondering who their classroom teacher would be. If you're going to just stand around wasting people's time with idle chatter, you can go somewhere else. Of all the things that anyone was expecting to see darken in the door of Class 1A, no one was expecting a 30-something-year-old hobo-looking man with long black hair bundled up in a mustard yellow sleeping bag. The only reactions the students could muster were a mix of bewilderment and temperance as the grown man ate applesauce from a squeeze pouch. They then felt a small spark of fear as the man unzipped himself from his sleeping cocoon. Everyone get to your seats. Class is in session. The insomniac's voice left no room for opposition. All 20 students began to quiet down and take their seats, the man waiting with both patience and impatience. Hello, I'm Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. It took you all far too long to get settled in. Time is short, people, and we've got a lot to cover in the 3 years you'll be here. Put these on. Aizawa pulled out several gym uniforms for his students. The tired teacher led his class to the track and field for a quirk assessment test. It sounded simple enough. It was the same as the physical exams they did in middle school, but with a twist. They were allowed to use their quirks. After Bakugo threw the softball 705.2 meters, some of the students made the mistake of saying that the assessment looked fun. So, you think this is just a game, huh? Are you going to spend the next 3 years having a grand old time? Alrighty then, how's about we raise the stakes in this little game then, to show you how serious this is. Whoever gets dead last in this exam will be expelled immediately. Cue shock, fear, and disbelief. Midoriya couldn't believe what she was hearing. Day 1 of class and they were already under the threat of expulsion?
Wait, hold on a second. That's not fair. We worked really hard to get here.
Oh, and you think that villain attacks are fair? What about natural disasters? Are those fair as well? Face it, kids. It's not going to be easy, so you'll have to give it everything you've got and then some. Now then, shall we get started? Midoriya felt her heart jump into her throat. A million thoughts ran through her head.
Well, this just turned to heck in a handbasket. I can't control the output of One for All yet without breaking something. I just have to remember to focus. Imagine the egg in the microwave. Don't let it explode.
While Midoriya struggled to get above average in any of the tests, the rest of her classmates were able to show off the strengths of their quirks. Infuriating was a word of the situation. Nerve-wracking would be another. Then came Midoriya's turn for the softball throw. She was not ready for this. Sure, she could send the ball flying for several hundreds of meters, but the green-haired team would break her arm in the process. She didn't want to resort to that, but it seemed as though she didn't have a choice. She wired the full power of One for All into her arm and threw the ball as hard as she could. The ball only flew a few dozen meters.
Wait, what? But I threw as hard as I could!
Yeah, you did. But I took away your quirk. Overwhelming fear surged through Midoriya's body, but it was overtaken by realization when she noticed that Aizawa's scarf was floating.
Wait a minute, those goggles are on your neck. I know you. You're that pro hero guy, Razorhead.
Yup, that's right. The pro hero bound Midoriya with his scarf, pinning her arms to her sides as she was pulled face to face with her teacher. I stopped you because if I'm not mistaken, you were planning on breaking your arm to throw that ball, and then request someone to patch up your useless arm. Was that what you were planning? Midoriya couldn't find her voice. Her gaze fell to her shoes, knowing her teacher was right. Aizawa released the saddened student from his capture tool. Just finish your last throw and get it over with. Midoriya fetched the ball and returned to the circle while her classmates whispered amongst themselves.
Who knew Aizawa-sensei could be so scary?
If you're scared by that old man round face, then leave. What is up with you? Is there a reason you're so hostile to everyone? That's none of your business, Four Eyes. The explosive blonde's death stare landed on his childhood friend, Midoriya, who was still rolling and tossing the ball in one hand, mumbling quietly to herself. Four Eyes said that Deku destroyed the 0-point robot in a single attack. That can't be possible for a quirkless twerp like her. But if that did happen, has the nerd been lying to me for years about being quirkless? Smash! The softball then rocketed through the air, launched by Midoriya's earned quirk. The results were well into the hundreds of meters. Midoriya's throw even edged out Bakugo's store by just enough to get the edge on him.
Look at that, Aizawa-sensei.
The green-haired teen faced her teacher, grimacing through her smile. She clenched her fist despite her broken finger.
I'm still standing.
Aizawa was actually kind of impressed. Instead of leaving her quirk float through her whole arm, she had the power focus on her index finger, then she let the ball fly at the last possible moment. Quite incredible. Deku, you bastard! How the hell did you do that? You better explain yourself, you damn nerd! Aizawa restrained Bakugo with his capture scarf before the blonde could attempt to murder Midoriya. Despite having her finger broken, Midoriya pushed through the rest of the tests. It was manageable, but that didn't stop the pain. Alright, since it'll be a waste of time to read them off one by one, and because I don't want to, I'll just show you everyone's results here. A holographic display appeared with a list of the students in order from highest to lowest scores, and Midoriya found her name at the bottom.
No way! But I tried my best! There's gotta be some kind of a catch or a hidden goal. I couldn't have broken my finger for nothing!
Oh, and that whole explosion thing I mentioned before? Yeah, that was just a tactical ruse to push you all to your limits. There was a choir of disbelief that came from the students. Aside from one who deduced the threat was a farce, Midoriya was given a slip to see Recovery Girl about the broken finger. Midoriya yawned as she left school at the end of the day, moving at a slow pace. There you are, Midoriya. How's your injury?
Oh, it's better. Recovery Girl wasn't able to heal it completely without exhausting me, so I'll need to see her again tomorrow.
I see.
Hey! Wait up, guys! Are you two going to the station?
Oh, you're the Infinity Girl.
Oh, hey, Uraraka. Hey, Midoriya. Oh, I'm Ochako Uraraka. You're Tenya Ida, right?
Yes, I am. It's nice to meet you. The three started making their way home together.
So, Midoriya, I have to ask, why does Bakugo keep calling you Deku?
Yes, now that you mention it, I'm rather curious myself.
Oh, well, you see, that's what he used to call me since we were kids, you know, to bully me and call me useless and all that.
And this has been going on since you were kids? Haven't you tried to stop him or get an adult involved?
Well, I couldn't stop him since I didn't have since I didn't have the same strength he had. And plus, he's always been more talented with his quirk than I was with mine. He always uses explosions to push me around.
Well, jeez, Midoriya, that only makes it worse.
I actually kind of like it. What? What do you mean? How could you say that? Well, it might just be me, but I think Deku sounds like a great hero name. What do you think, Midoriya?
The green-haired teen looked at Uraraka bewilderedly before looking at her bandaged and broken finger. She thought about what she had to go through to get to where she is now. A soft smile found its way onto her face.
I don't know. Maybe? I'll have to think about it.
Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before we leave, we would like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everybody involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so goodbye and have a divine day.